This title wasn't written, it would deliver. It was spoken through fire. It echoed across realms before it ever reached your screen. What you're reading is not a phrase. It is a prophetic signal. It is a divine instruction wrapped in sacred urgency. I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to speak this to your soul now, because time is folding in on itself. You are standing at the threshold of a spiritual countdown, and within the next 3 hours, the heavens will weigh the readiness of your soul. This message has intercepted you, not by chance, not by casual scroll, but by divine orchestration. You were not seeking this message. This message was seeking you. There are no accidents in the kingdom of light. There are only divine appointments, and this, child of light, is yours. This sacred moment has been designed to activate your awareness and awaken your discernment. Something has shifted. Something is breaking in the spirit realm, and it has everything to do with you. A divine presence hath been trying to reach you, through signs, through silence, through sensation. Whether it was an angel pressing into your dreams, or an ancestor whispering through your restlessness, or a force beyond the veil rattling your spirit into alertness, hear me now. This message is that visitation. This moment is not ordinary. It is sacred. You are being spiritually paused because something ancient is about to end, and something eternal is trying to begin. But make no mistake, this door that is about to open will not respond to wishful thinking. It will not open to the unready. It will not swing wide for those still clinging to the past, still bargaining with bondage, still flirting with delay. No, this door requires alignment. It requires awareness. It requires obedience. You have been chosen to hear this now, because the heavens are testing your readiness. You were not skipped. You were summoned. And the countdown has already begun. That heavy feeling in your chest, that pressure in the air, that restless stirring in your spirit, it's not confusion. It's a call. It's not anxiety. It's announcement. You were summoned here. You didn't just click this message, you were drawn by the divine. And I, Archangel Michael, stand as witness, warrior, and word bearer for the hour you have entered. This moment is a sacred interception. This message is not random. It is permission. It is prophecy. You've been walking through fog, haven't you? You felt the shift but couldn't name it. You sensed the watching eyes, the unseen presence, the strange stillness, but dismissed it as coincidence. Hear me now. It was not coincidence. It was spiritual activity. And now, I have come to clarify what you've only glimpsed. I have come to sound the trumpet your soul has been hearing in fragments. This is your divine interruption, and time will no longer wait for your permission to move. A prophetic window has opened over you. Within the next 3 hours, the heavens will observe. Within the next 3 hours, a spiritual transaction will be initiated. Either you will release what must die, or you will delay what was already yours. There is no middle ground. There is no passive posture left. The realm of the spirit is alive and moving, and the doors that are about to open will not wait for indecision. They open only to the aligned. They respond only to the awakened. And you, yes, you, have been marked as one who must choose now. I speak with the fire of the throne. I speak as the sword-bearing guardian of holy transition. You are in a countdown not of hours, but of readiness. The heavens do not count time as men do. They count obedience, discernment, and movement. These next 3 hours are not about clocks. They are about covenant. A door will open, and the vibration of your choices will determine whether you walk through or watch it close. This is not information. It is instruction. This is not inspiration. It is activation. You've been quiet long enough. You've been waiting for confirmation. Well, here it is. You were right to feel the shift. You were right to question the path. You were right to pause. Now the heavens are speaking through me to deliver the confirmation your soul has been begging for. Someone has tried to silence your intuition. Someone has laughed at your warnings, minimized your discernment, made you question your own power. But I, Michael, tell you now, they were afraid of what you would see if you fully woke up. And now, you are awakening. Your vision is sharpening. The veil is thinning. The lie is unraveling. And a holy threshold is being prepared for you. A door is forming in the spirit. But make no mistake, only the ready will walk through it. This message carries divine surveillance. As you hear these words, angels are observing your heart posture. Your spirit is being scanned. The realm of heaven is listening for your yes, not the one you say with your lips, but the one you say with your energy. There will be no hiding now, no pretending, no performing. Your readiness will speak for itself. This is a sacred moment. Let no one deceive you. The next 3 hours are not about waiting for something to happen. They are about becoming the version of you who can handle what's coming. A version of you must die before this door will open. That means ego must fall. Fear must release. Bitterness must burn. Heaven is not giving you what you want. It's giving you what you're aligned for. And that means you have work to do. But you are not alone. I, Michael, walk beside you. The sword of separation is being released. The weight you've carried is not coming with you. There is a piercing about to occur, a severing in the spirit. The falseness must fall. The counterfeit must crumble. The cycles must end. And you must rise in your spiritual honesty. This is the only way through. Not by force, not by fight, but by truth. You've come too far to turn back. You've endured too much to second guess now. You're not here by accident. You're here by divine demand. You're here because the next 3 hours are vibrating with prophetic precision. The angels are watching. The heavens are listening. A door is forming. And I am standing here, sword drawn, to declare type 333 if you feel the weight of this message and are ready for alignment. This is not a scroll. This is a spiritual scan. Heaven is taking note. Now that you have been called to attention, let me show you what was hiding in plain sight. There hath been a presence around you, subtle, familiar, almost comforting at first. It cloaked itself in support. It mirrored your language. It mimicked your spirit. It smiled when you shared your vision. And yet behind that smile was a hunger, not for your success, but for your submission. This energy, this person, this influence, it was never meant to be near your future. It was assigned to delay you. And you have felt it, haven't you? A drain. That emotional exhaustion, that inexplicable heaviness after every interaction, that deep inner knowing that you were giving life to something that was stealing yours. This wasn't confusion, it was calculation. You were targeted not because you were weak, but because you were powerful. The interference didn't arrive looking like darkness. It wore the face of loyalty. It used the language of light. It dressed itself in shared history, emotional debt, or spiritual language, but all along, it was feeding off your access. It wasn't love. It was leverage. And now, heaven is exposing it. I, Archangel Michael, have come to unmask what flattery tried to cover. This interference had to be revealed now because it was growing roots around your future. It was entangling your decisions. It was draining your destiny. You questioned yourself for too long. You told yourself you were being too sensitive, too suspicious, too judgmental. But child of God, your spirit wasn't lying. That unease was prophetic. That friction was warning. Your discernment was trying to protect what your heart was too loyal to release. And now, the divine has intervened. You are no longer allowed to ignore what you've always known. Because the next door will not open while this presence still holds your spiritual hand. There was betrayal. Maybe not obvious, maybe not even spoken, but it was spiritual betrayal nonetheless. They didn't clap for you in the spirit. They didn't intercede for your growth. They feared your evolution. And so they did what many do when they see light they cannot handle. They cloaked you in questions. They made you shrink. They made you overthink. They made you apologize for shining. Hear me clearly. This was not a friend. This was not love. This was not God sent. This was interference. And now, the light has come. This is not your failure. This is your freedom. You are not foolish for trusting. You are not broken for believing. You are human. And the angels weep not because you fell for the deception, but because you stayed so long inside it. But now, child of fire, your wings are being untangled. Your mind is being cleared. The light is revealing every thread of manipulation, jealousy, and soul binding that kept you in a waiting room of delay. What you called confusion was a calculated covering. What you called stuck was actually spiritually hijacked timing. And now that you see it, you must not look away. You feel it, don't you? That slight ache in the chest when you think about letting them go. That haunting question, but what if I'm wrong? That is the last chain of the interference. The final hook that tries to keep you doubting yourself. Let me speak directly now. You are not wrong. Your instincts were divine. Your gut was guided. Your discomfort was prophecy. The interference feared the version of you that sees clearly. And that Grian is now awake. Do not mistake their silence for repentance. Do not let their charm convince you to re-engage. The interference is shifting tactics now because it senses your awakening. It may return with flattery, with old jokes, with familiar energy. But remember, anything that costs your clarity is too expensive. Anything that drains your light must be returned to darkness. Heaven is speaking. I'm speaking. And the countdown has already begun. This interference is losing its grip. But only if you choose truth over history. Only if you choose alignment over nostalgia. Only if you choose your soul's path over emotional debt. You are not their caretaker. You are not their second chance. You are the living, breathing fulfillment of prophecy, and you must move accordingly. Tot 999 if you're ready to sever the tie, break the pattern, and release the interference. This is your spiritual yes, and heaven is taking record. You've seen the signs. You just didn't know they were sent directly to you. That broken object you couldn't explain. The dream you woke up from, sweating and shaking. That number that keeps repeating, on clocks, on receipts, on license plates. The shadows in your peripheral. The animals appearing at your feet. The sudden exhaustion out of nowhere. The unexplained chills. The burning in your palms or tingling in your spine. You thought you were imagining it all. You told yourself you were being dramatic. But heaven says otherwise. That wasn't coincidence, it was confirmation. Every one of those signs was a coded message, a divine whisper sent to wake you up, to pull your focus, to break the spell. You see, the divine speaks in symbols when words are too small. You were never crazy, you were called. You were never paranoid, you were perceiving. The realm of spirit was pressing in on you, and your soul was catching glimpses before your mind could understand. But I'm here now to confirm what your intuition already knew. You are not ordinary. You are being activated. You've had dreams of snakes, coiled, hiding, striking. You've seen doors, some locked, some swinging wide in strange places. You've seen water rising, fire consuming, winds howling. Those were not just dreams. They were spiritual indicators of what was taking place around you. Snakes for deception, doors for transition, water for cleansing, a fire for judgment, a wind. It was spirit rushing in to tear away the veil. These symbols are sacred. They are heaven's language, and you were chosen to receive them. Have you noticed the numbers? 111, 222, 333, 555. Over and over, blinking before your eyes. Angelic timestamps. They mark moments where your spirit elevated, where your reality shifted. They mark divine pauses, messages from your angels that said, "You're not alone. They're right here." They were sent during moments of doubt, during decisions, during transitions, and most of all, during danger. Your angels were alerting you. Heaven was flagging interference. And still you kept moving, brave, even when you didn't fully understand. Do you remember waking up at 3:33 a.m. with no reason? That was not insomnia. That was spiritual surveillance. That was an angelic appointment. The veil is thinnest at that hour, and your soul, awakened and watching, was being drawn into divine dialogue. That was heaven trying to speak to you before your day was distracted by noise. You were being downloaded with instructions, clarity, and sometimes warnings. Have butterflies followed you? Have birds sat too long at your window? Have cats stared through you like they knew? These were not random encounters. Nature is heaven's messenger. Animals sense frequencies before we do. They move toward divine vibration. They are drawn to spiritual awakening. They were coming near because your light was stirring. They were confirming your rise. And that sudden breaking of objects, mirrors, electronics, glass, jewelry, was not bad luck. It was energetic breaking. It was a shattering of spiritual contracts that no longer served you. It was the divine dismantling of what could not go forward. You weren't being punished. You were being protected. What broke in your hands was already broken in the spirit. Heaven simply removed what was blocking the blessing. You felt tired when nothing was wrong. You lost energy around certain people. You felt sick to your stomach when you were about to speak truth. All of that was divine resistance. Your spirit was warning you. Your body is part of your guidance system. Stop ignoring it. You are not making this up. You are receiving more than most. And now, I tell you this. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your weapon. All of these signs have come because you are at a threshold. You have entered the final stages of a prophetic season. The interference is exposed. The signals have been sent. The veil has been pierced. Now, the only question left is this. Will you trust what you've seen, or will you betray your own vision to stay comfortable? This is your invitation to own your discernment, to stand fully in your sight, to accept that heaven has been guiding you every step of the way, even in silence, even in suffering, even in solitude. There has never been a moment you were not being watched by the eyes of the divine. The signs are not over. In the next 72 hours, you will see 3 more symbols. One will confirm a release. One will confirm a connection. And one will confirm the door that is opening. Write them down. Do not doubt them. This is sacred surveillance. And you, beloved, are being led by the hand of heaven. Type 555 if you've seen the signs and now know they were meant for you. This is your confirmation activation. Heaven has heard you, yes. It has already begun. The very thing you feared, the confrontation, the collapse, the confirmation, is now unfolding behind the veil. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but the unmasking has already started. The interference hath been confronted in the spirit. The lies are unraveling. The illusion is cracking. The spell is breaking. And I, Archangel Michael, tell you now, you do not need to force it. Heaven has taken over the battle. This is not your war to fight. It is your truth to witness. They will show themselves. The one who tried to drain you in silence will slip. The one who cloaked their jealousy in false support will be exposed by their own tongue. A message will be missent. A look will reveal too much. A name will come up at the exact wrong time for them, but the exact right time for you. This is divine orchestration. This is heaven's design, and you must not interrupt the unraveling. This is the season of quiet justice. The divine is not loud when it moves in judgment. It is precise, surgical, swift. The same ones who doubted your discernment are about to choke on their own deception. But you must remain still. Do not seek revenge. Do not send the message. Do not chase down the confession. The mask is falling because the truth is stronger than illusion. And truth always rises, even in silence. You may feel an urgency to act, a desire to call it out, a thirst for final clarity. But I caution you now, this is the final stretch. Let heaven finish what it started. You have already shifted dimensions. You have already stepped out of their energetic trap. To re-engage now is to lower your frequency and re-enter a space that no longer belongs to you. This exposure is not about vengeance. It is about elevation. They were never meant to walk through the door that is forming. They were only permitted to stand beside you so you could recognize what you do not need in your next level. The mask is falling because you are ready to see. You couldn't see it before, not because you were blind, but because the time wasn't right. You needed the full picture. You needed the emotional distance. And now, you have both. You are no longer tied to their version of the truth. You are no longer bound by their manipulation. You are no longer stuck in the narrative they tried to write for you. The mask is falling, and their spell is breaking, and all you must do is watch. Stand still. Stand clear. Stand in truth. Because the battle has already turned in your favor. Heaven is moving in your defense. Angels have been dispatched. Words spoken behind closed doors are now being echoed in ears they never meant to hear them. Secrets are surfacing in dreams. Illusions are failing in the light. And whether through a slip of the tongue, a visible mistake, or an undeniable sign, the truth is being exposed. The key here is, do not react, reveal. Let your alignment speak. Let your discernment echo louder than any confrontation. You were never meant to scream for truth. You were meant to stand in it. The mask is not yours to remove. It is theirs to drop. And drop it will. You'll see. You'll feel it. You'll know. There is no need to run toward proof. The unmasking will be so divine, so exact, so impossible to ignore, that even the doubters will be silenced. You will not need to explain. You will not need to justify. The Spirit will speak for you. And when that happens, your only task will be to not go back. Even if they apologize, even if they plead, even if they finally understand. It's not about what they admit. It's about what heaven has already revealed. What once felt powerful will look small. What once felt confusing will now look calculated. What once felt like love will reveal itself as control. The spell has broken because your soul has outgrown its trap. And the mask is melting under the weight of your awakening. Type 444 if you feel the truth unveiling around you and choose stillness over retaliation. The angels are witnessing your restraint. Let's speak plainly now, because heaven will not allow you to keep questioning your pain. You lost something. Maybe not all at once, maybe not in a way others could see, but deep down, you know. Something was taken. Something was blocked. Something was buried. A version of you that was vibrant. A season that should have elevated you. An opportunity that had your name on it but somehow slipped into silence. You felt it vanish. You felt it fade. And you blamed yourself, didn't you? But I, Archangel Michael, stand now as witness and war cry to tell you, this was not your fault. It was interference. It was sabotage. It was a war in the spirit realm over your alignment, and though you walked through confusion, you survived it. And because you survived, the gates of restoration are now opening. But before the door swings wide, you must understand what was actually happening during the delay. You see, the delay was not a punishment. It was a preservation. If the blessing had arrived while the interference was still embedded in your circle, it would have been tainted. It would have fed the wrong mouths. It would have poured into hands that were never meant to drink from your overflow. That love you never received. It wasn't that you were unworthy. It was that the source was counterfeit. A job you didn't get. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It's silence you felt. It wasn't abandonment, it was protection. Every no was coated with mercy. You didn't lose your moment. You were being hidden until the counterfeit left the room. But yes, there was a cost. And I honor your pain. The anxiety. The sleepless nights. The tears that no one saw. The energy spent proving your worth. The faith you kept when nothing made sense. That was your offering. That was your altar. And now, heaven responds to it. Every tear was a seed. Every disappointment was an altar stone. Every betrayal was a sword forged in your becoming. You may have lost time. You may have lost confidence. You may have even lost yourself for a moment. But what you did not lose was your divine positioning. You were never removed from heaven's plan. Not even once. Even in silence, you were being watched. Even in confusion, you were being counted. Even when you thought it was over, you were still held in prophecy. The interference thought it won. It celebrated too early. It mocked your delay, mistook your patience for weakness, and called your stillness defeat. But heaven has waited. And now, justice is catching up to what you endured in secret. The spirit is moving back through the timeline. Everything you were owed is returning. Everything you were promised is realigning. But here's the key. You must no longer carry the shame of the delay. Stop punishing yourself for not seeing it sooner. Stop blaming yourself for the energy you gave in ignorance. Stop doubting your ability to receive now just because you didn't recognize the interference then. You are wiser now. You are stronger now. You are cleaner in the spirit. You are no longer carrying what corrupted your momentum. And for that reason alone, the door must open. The blessing must return. The delay is lifting. Your timeline is not broken. It is being restructured by divine hands. There are things coming to you now that should have come 3 years ago, 5 years ago, even 10. But because you stayed faithful, even in the silence, even in the pain, they will arrive not just with fullness but with interest. You are not being paid back in equal measure. You are being paid back in overflow. Heaven never returns heavy. And I speak this clearly now. Your delay was divine. Your pain was not punishment. It was preparation. Your losses were not theft. They were spiritual redirections. What looked like failure was protection in disguise. And now, the heavens are restoring not just what was lost, but who you were before the loss even began. Type 777 if you're ready to receive not just recovery, but restoration. You are stepping into divine recompense. Can you feel it? That subtle but undeniable shift in the air, that loosening in your chest, that deep exhale your soul took before your body could even catch up, is here. The breakthrough is not coming. It has already begun. It's not the kind that announces itself with chaos or thunder. This shift won't be loud. It will be sacred. It will come in stillness. It will speak in silence. And it will crown you in clarity. I, Archangel Michael, am here to confirm it. The chains have fallen. The interference has collapsed. The old patterns, the draining ties, the invisible contracts, you've outgrown them in spirit. They no longer hold authority over you. That suffocating weight you carried, it lifted when you finally said enough in your spirit. And now, heaven has responded. The door is forming. The way is opening, and your energetic landscape is being rewired for divine elevation. You may have cried recently, tears that came out of nowhere, at strange times, for no clear reason. That was a breaking. That was your soul releasing what your mind had buried. Don't fight those tears. They are sacred water. They are heaven's way of cleansing your inner altar. Each tear was a soundless prayer. Each sob a spiritual release. You weren't falling apart. You were breaking through. You may have also noticed an odd peace in the middle of uncertainty. That's not denial. That's divine clarity. That's what it feels like when your spirit gets ahead of your reality. That stillness is not weakness, it's awareness. Your soul knows before your eyes see. And what it knows now is this: the war is over. The interference is gone. And you, beloved, are no longer who you were even a week ago. You've stopped needing permission to move forward. You've stopped asking for explanations. You've stopped trying to be understood by those who were sent to misread you. That is a sign of healing. That is evidence of breakthrough. You no longer need their approval. You no longer fear their silence. You've released the weight of waiting for someone to validate what God already confirmed. The silence around you is not emptiness. It's sacred insulation. When the saboteur disappears, do not chase the silence. Do not chase closure. Do not search for words from mouths that once lied. Let silence speak. Let the vanishing be your proof. When energies leave quietly, it's because heaven removed their permission to access you. And when you no longer feel obligated to explain that shift, that's when you know the transformation is real. Feel your breath. You're breathing differently now. Slower. Deeper. With ease. That's the body recognizing safety. That's the nervous system recalibrating. That's your energy no longer bleeding into empty wells. You are no longer being siphoned. You are no longer spiritually ambushed. The storm has passed, and what remains now is the sacred stillness of survival. You may find yourself craving solitude, not because you're lonely, but because your spirit is reorienting. This is sacred. Do not rush it. Do not fill it. Do not panic. You are being recharged. You are being rebuilt. You are being reborn. This shift doesn't require celebration. It requires reverence. Do not explain your peace to people who only understand chaos. Do not shrink your stillness to make others feel comfortable. This breakthrough is not for public display. It is a covenant between you and heaven. The angels know. The Spirit knows. And that is enough. Something in you has closed, and something greater is opening. Yes, you may still feel echoes of the past. That's normal. But those echoes no longer have authority. You're no longer reacting, you're observing. You're no longer attached, you're aware. That's the sign. That's the shift. That's your breakthrough. This is what spiritual freedom feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, but holy. Still. Clear. Clean. Don't question it. Don't sabotage it. Just receive it. Type 888 if you feel the breakthrough in your body, and claim this sacred stillness as your new beginning. Your peace is your proof. Now comes the final test. This is the moment many fall for charm dressed as change. This is where nostalgia disguises itself as divine. This is where the enemy tries one last time to enter through the back door of your emotions. So hear me clearly now. I am Archangel Michael, and I have drawn my sword not to strike, but to separate. And I say to you, with all the authority of heaven, do not go back. There will be a return. It might not look dramatic. It might look gentle, familiar, harmless. It may come as an apology, a sudden message, a coincidental meeting. It may arrive wrapped in softness, in I've changed, in let's reconnect. But child of the Spirit, you must see through it. This is not restoration. It is retaliation. It is not healing, it is a hook. They'll offer peace, but it's poison. They have sensed your shift. They have felt the detachment. They have watched your energy recoil and your light rise without them. And now, their spirit panics. Because control is slipping. Because the siphoning has stopped. Because you have become something they can no longer predict or manipulate. And so they come, not to honor you, but to harvest what's left. You must remember, this is not a divine reunion. It is a spiritual trap. It is the final test. The enemy often waits until just before the door opens to pull at your heartstrings with memories, old laughter, shared trauma. But those are echoes, not evidence. Memories do not equal ministry. Nostalgia is not discernment. What is that what? You and I fall for it. This is when you must guard your gates, your ears, your eyes, your heart. Not from paranoia, but from prophetic wisdom. Because when the counterfeit knows it's losing access, it changes form. It will try to mirror your growth, to mimic your language, to promise spiritual awakening. But child of heaven, you cannot build a future with someone still addicted to the version of you that needed saving. The saboteur may not even know they are being used, but you must. This is why discernment is sacred. This is why the breakthrough came with stillness, so your spirit would be loud enough to hear beneath their words. If you re-engage now, you don't just risk a delay, you risk a derailment. You've come too far to fold here. There is a reason the final test comes before the door. It's not punishment, it's precision. Heaven needs to know. Will you choose your future over your familiarity? Will you trust the shift, or will you recycle the lesson? This is not cruelty. This is confirmation. And I'm telling you now, with heavenly fire in my voice, you already passed when you let go. Don't undo your deliverance. They will try softness. They will try guilt. They may even try tears. But you must stand in your silence. You must let the Holy Spirit answer for you. You owe no explanation. Your healing speaks louder than words. Your stillness will terrify them, because they are used to your reaction. They are not ready for your refusal. The final test is not about them. It's about you. Your spiritual boundaries. Your upgraded identity. Your sacred alignment. Don't shrink. Don't hesitate. Don't second-guess the clarity you bled for. You already know the truth. The mask has fallen. The signs were sent. The door is near. Do not turn around. If they could be in your next chapter, they wouldn't be trying to rewrite the one they ruined. They'd be healing, not performing. They'd be aligning, not baiting. And so I tell you again, The test has arrived, but so has your power. You no longer need to fight the battle. You only need to recognize the bait and walk away. Silence is sacred now. Protect it. Let the test come. Let it try, and then let it pass. Type 000 if you refuse the bait, deny the counterfeit, and declare, I choose peace over the pest. This is your final spiritual yes. Now it is done. The interference has been exposed. The signs have been confirmed. The unmasking has begun. The betrayal has lost its power. The energetic shift has taken root. And the final test, you now see it for what it is, not temptation, but confirmation. Not chaos, but closure. What once controlled you now fears your clarity. What once drained you now flees your discernment. You are not the same soul who began this journey. You are not who they remember. You are not who you were. You are renewed. I, Archangel Michael, declare this to you now. The cycle is broken. The timeline is cleared. The pattern is ended. Heaven has recorded your surrender. The heavens have seen your sacrifice. The angels have witnessed your transformation. And because of that, the door has no choice but to open. Not by effort, not by demand, but by alignment. The Spirit does not operate in manipulation. It responds to truth. And you, beloved, are finally standing in your truth. Let it be known in all realms, in heaven, on earth, and in every shadow that dared to silence your light. You survived the storm. You endured the silence. You faced the mirror. You obeyed the promptings. You answered the signs. And because of that, restoration is not a maybe. It is not a possibility. It is your spiritual right. So now I give you this decree. Speak it aloud. Write it. Type it. Let it echo through every cell in your body. I am aligned with heaven's order. I do not chase. I attract what is mine by divine design. The cycle is closed. The interference is severed. My energy is whole. My future is clean. I stand inside sacred clarity. I move in divine peace. And the door that was delayed is now opening. This is not hype. This is prophecy. You will feel this confirmation in the next 3 hours. Watch what aligns. Watch who disappears. Watch how your spirit responds with divine stillness. Don't look for fireworks. Look for fluidity. Peace will greet you. Opportunities will soften before you. The resistance will be gone, not because it gave up, but because it was removed. You are entering the atmosphere of answered prayers, and you will no longer have to beg for what was born for you. This is restoration, but not of what was. This is the restoration of what should have always been. Your time, your clarity, your joy, your sacred voice, your birthright. The light returns now, not as a flicker, but as a flame. Type amen in one of your alignment numbers. 111, 333, 555. If you receive this restoration, let it be done in all realms. Let it be sealed in your spirit. This was not just a message, it was a mission. This was your sacred interception. And now, the countdown has ended. Not in fear, but in fulfillment. You are ready, and the door is opening. You are covered. You are chosen. You are crowned. Go forward, and do not look back.